Evet, Multiverse Lock kanalında Elysium'un yeni bir bölümüyle tekrardan karşınızdayız. Yanımda yine Kelebek var.
Merhaba.
Kelebek'le beraber kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. Ne yaptık? Üçüncü gündeyiz. Üçüncü günde karşıya geçtik. Balıkçı kasabasındayız. Balıkçı kasabasında birazcık gezindik. Şöyle açayım tekrar. Saat 12'ye kadar şöyle bir gezindik. İşte teyzeden bir anahtar aldık. Şurada artık kendi bir barakamız var. Bu barakada girip kalabiliyoruz. Geceyi orada geçirebiliyoruz. Bunu sağladık. O şekilde devam edelim. Şurada konuşacak bir etrafta polis görmek güzel diyor mesela. İyiymiş. Konuşayım bununla.
Hi officer.
Merhaba. Ustasıymış.
Anything I can help you with?
Her zamanki ben kanunladım. Bazı sorun olacak. İlk olarak adın nedir? Aynen. İlk olarak adın nedirle girişiyorum.
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker.
Bu diğer
I
şey
think I
işte.
have time for questions.
İmza iste.
What are the other ones?
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Havalı kılıcını mı? Ne işle meşgulsün? Kılıç güzelmiş. Günlük süvari kılıcını işaret et. Bir hikayesi var mı?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks mostly.
Ben göremiyorum belinde kılıç olduğunu da ondan dolayı bir şaşırdım ya.
Not really. I know some basic moves and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
Okay.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Niye insanları
From time to
korkutmak
time, people need
ihtiyacı
lesson in
duyuyorsun?
respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Ne işe yarıyor? Neden daha çok kadın silahlanmıyor? Ödünç alabilir miyim acaba kılıncı? Kılıncı.
No, I'm afraid not. Attempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check, you would put me in an early grave.
Vay. Peki abla kalsın o zaman sende.
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. Oh? Believe me, everyone here is a proper man. Must be something.
Sounds like she prefers her men to be less real.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone.
The harbour seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Rivershore. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
Kayıp mı oldu diye sorayım mı?
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves. Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. Floated. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Vay. Kadın delikanlı. Sıçarım ölümüne.
Ya 3 ya 4 bence.
Yani 4 bence de.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
Çocukların annesi buymuş. Çocukların ve kızın.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her.
Tanrım.
Both of you could need some action.
İyi bir yer bak şey yapınca ve kim burada olmayınca teklif edebiliriz. Şimdilik devam edelim. Birini arıyorum.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
Teyzenin verdiği görev.
I don't
Teyzenin
think I know
kocası.
what these are. Care to elaborate?
Ana akım bilim insanların varlığını reddettiği hayvanları arayan insanlar.
Aha, like snowmen. Two old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Nereye gittiler?
Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
Şimdilik başka biri yok.
How can I assist you then, officer?
Neyi sor işte.
Aynen.
Ne işle meşgulsün de. Onu söyleme istersen.
Aynen onu söylemeyeceğim.
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is...
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Okey. Direkt 3 ile gireyim mi? Profesyonelliğini bozma dedi. Şimdiye kadar neler bozdun diyorum.
wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Tek bir şey sorabiliriz. Oyun sancısında bilgi almam gerek. Mayın mı? Mayının önemli işine yarıyor. Nerede? Uyuşturucu bu konuda bilgiye ihtiyacım var. Narkotikçiyim. Burası çok kötü durumda. Neden gitmedin? Tamam burası hakkında bu kadar yeter. Tek bir soru hakkımız var. Onlardan sadece birini sorabiliriz ki bence ilk üçü çok işimize yarayacağını çok zannetmiyorum ben.
Zaten ilk 3'ü bir işe yaramaz diyorsan geriye tek bir soru kalıyor.
4. Aynen. Sorayım mı o zaman?
Bilmiyorum neden diğerleri işine yaramaz diye düşündüm. Sonuçta mesela uyuşturucu ile ilgili bir görevin var aslında. Ya işte
Ama deniz kıyısına vurulmuş uyuşturucu ile ilgili değil ki bir kaçakçıyı arıyoruz biz.
Sen bilirsin o zaman.
Ama doğru dedin evet.
Yo istediğin gibi istediğin gibi git ya. 4'ü sormak istiyorsan 4'ü sor.
4'ü soruyorum yani.
Peki.
And go where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something.
Üç.
People imagine picking up and finding something better is an easy solution. But how is that supposed to work when all your
Hordes of wild, homeless people.
Başarısız oldu kavramlaştırma.
Nomads scattered across an endless plain. In a dystopian world where tear is the only.
I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We are warm and fed here and I don't know.
A sudden gust of cold air blows in from the sea. The waves flow and ebb. Around you, the fishing village takes its slow and steady breaths. Its many wooden structures, worn by bitter years of salt and storm. It's home.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Okay. Şimdilik bu kadar o zaman. Kaybolmuş birileri olursa yine gelip bunu sorabiliriz anladığım kadarıyla. Şimdi şöyle geldik, böyle gittik. Çocuklar şu eve girdik. Şu ayyaşlarla konuştuk. Bu tarafa doğru devam ediyorum. Sol mu, düz mü, sağ mı? Sola doğru gittim.
Tamam. Arkanda kalan yerleri komple gezdin mi?
Aynen, oralara gidilmiyor ya. Buralara çıkılmıyor zaten.
Tamam.
Sola doğru şöyle duvarın olabildiğince kenarından ve buraya çıkılabildiğini görüyorum. Buraya çıkıyorum. Ama nereden çıkıyoruz? Katılımcı yönlü. Kırılmış boru olabilir mi? Kırılmış bir boru mu? Aa, burası neymiş ya?
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinaise'de? I'm Khan Hailostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic
Kimi
significance
tanıyor?
here. Very rich.
Nice to meet you.
Ay, pencerelerle ilgili ne diyordun, daha çok merak ettim ya.
Oh yes, so Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Vay bak, ekranda güneş parlamasın diye güney tarafında hiç pencere yokmuş. İlginç.
Yes, hypertext, young carp, and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Okay.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of him, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
Bizim bulduğumuz o küple ve benzer bir oyunda oynuyorlarmış.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Para isteyeyim mi adamdan?
Önce istersen aynen biraz konuş bari.
Aynen, biraz konuşayım.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn of the century cybernetics boom.
Aa bak, o field elektriği galiba şeyde bulmuştuk biz, öteki tarafta. Herhalde bu binanın içinde bulacağız o şeyi, kodu.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Ağır geçti.
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technology.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead. It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the still. Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here. It was here in Martinaise'de, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Bant sayar mı?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business, which is a feat of engineering, even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and Zam, have indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld.
Eskiymiş ya bayağı. Büyük ihtimal bizim bulduğumuz şeyle çok alakası yoktur.
For their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say.
Ya
I
adam
was a
bilgi
special
veriyor.
consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Domty Dom Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with
Bidik
Paul
kubidik
Ockerman,
merkezinde.
who was
He did it. He said, Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center.
Aa gerçekten demiş. Ben aklımızdan öyle bir şey getirdik sandım.
Yok adamın adı var ya.
What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell
Hadi kurduk
are
merkezi
Keith
ne?
and
Paul
Guy
Arkman mı?
Joost?
Kent Dön. Sen ne diyorsun?
the Womty Domty Dom Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to... In fact, I'm not. The Womty Domty Dom Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the
Abidik
market
gubidik
for an
düşünce kazandım şu an.
exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
Tabii
But
ihtiyacımız
perhaps I
olmuş.
should return
Aynen
to
öyle.
computers.
Bir o
As
eksik
I was
yani.
saying, the device
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionary setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The Felt playback. Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Felt
İlk
playback
kayıt deneyi
experience.
07 yangında
But those
gitmiş.
are who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer they were a big wheel.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers.
Ha, eskiden burada şey varmış. Dönme dolap ama yıkıldı diyor adam.
They had to make the prospect
Bizim de
of letting
haritada
them
vardı
track.
ya burada.
It was supposed
Demek
to
o
become a global
yıkılmış.
center for innovation in cybernetics,
Üzücü.
but history had other plans. Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mick.
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
Çocuğa dönüp bunu demeyelim ya. O kadar da değil artık.
Tape computers. They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by...
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention. But of course,
Öyle değil mi? Herkesin de bir hayali vardır. Yok, Filk binası ile ilgili tekrar bilgi almak istiyorum. Parası olan birine benziyorsun. Paran var mı diye soruyorum artık.
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you... No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Yok ya, istemiyorum paranı.
Of course, Detective, I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling informant. If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying? No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one...
Bence de abi çok tek taraflı konuştun sen yani.
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off.
Oh, para bulduk yine. Bunlar neymiş ya? Bunları acaba şeyle açabilir miyiz ya? Levyeyle. Evet. Oo. Allah, çok iyi oldu ya. 5 real buldum ya tek seferde. Abidik bulduk merkezi.
Şey yapacak herhalde. Zengin yapacak.
Aynen, burası bence de iyi gelecek. Ben levyeyle gezmeye devam edeyim ya. Az önce de bir yeri açamamıştık, hatırlıyor musun? Çıkık yapmıştı oraya da. Orayı bir tekrar bulabilir miyim ya? Çok, bu üçüncü kısmı çok başlarındaydı. Burada işte. Oo, çok tatlı. Bu da çok tatlı. 24 param oldu şu an. Ve bunun 20'sini gidip adama vermeyeceğim ya, çok şükür. Asıl zaten bizi batıran şey oydu yani. Gidip adama 20 reali bastırıyorsun. Sırf orada kalacağım diye. Bir şey daha vardı sanki buralarda, açılmamıştı. Evet. Bu da levyeyle açılıyormuş bak. Komünist dedim ya, beyaz yıldız var diye. Gözlük bulduk sadece. Bir kapı gibi bir şey değilmiş o. Empati veriyormuş. -1 mantık veriyormuş. Görsel oyunculuk. Mantık, otorite. Bunu giyebilirim ya. Papyon özellikle oyunculuk at gibi verdiği için görsel +1 olur. Neyse, bunlara ihtiyacımız olursa takalım ya gözlüğü. Valla buraya kadar geldim sırf ne çıkacak diye. Koştur abi tekrar. Koştur, şuradan gidelim. Var mı başka bir şey? Bakıyorum. Geri dönmüşken şöyle bakarak gidelim. Elimizde levyeyle gezelim ya. Ben unuttum onu vallahi. Ne tarafa gittik? Bu tarafa gittik az önce. Yine bu tarafa doğru devam edelim. Şuradan çıkalım. Adam hala daha çocuğuyla konuşuyor. Bu tarafa doğru değil de bir geriye dönüp arkadaki şu mekana nasıl gidiliyor acaba? Buradan mı gidiliyor? Adamı buldum galiba. Bu büyük ihtimalle. Teyzenin kocası.
Muhtemelen.
Her yere de tuzak kurmuş. Para bulduk, şişe bulduk. Daha çok şişe bulduk. Tekrar para bulduk. Pipo bere. Bere bulmuşum. Algıya -1 veriyor. Mantığa +2 veriyor ama bayağı iyi. Mantık gerektiren bir şey olursa iyi yani. Nasıl imkansız. Okey. Burayı da yağmaladık. Bu tarafa zaten gidemiyoruz. Bunlarda başka bir şey var mı? Şurada sarı bir şey var. Para bulduk. Evet, bununla konuşayım. Şurada biri daha var. Ya bu ya o zaten.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of...
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Moral'dı değil mi adı? Aynen.
Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it. To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm just busy.
Okay.
What's this? Of course.
70
Thanks for
verdi.
passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the A81.
Bu benden kaynaklı demeyelim ya.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary! We can go soon! If you see...
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Ondan bir şeyler öğrenebilirmişiz. Fazmit'ten bahsetsin.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep. Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant, and I suspect it may have also developed other specialized techniques to protect. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception.
Elektrokimyasal savunmalar mı?
But I cannot describe how these defenses work.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
Dur ya biz şey verelim. Dayı uçmuş. Evet, ne verelim? Neleri konuşmuştuk? Retorik, manipülasyon, otorite, algı. Retoriğimiz 6 şu an. Oyunculuk için, ya o oyunculuk veya manipülasyon için giyecek çok fazla kıyafetimiz var. O bence çok artı bir şey. Şimdilik o yüzden oyunculuğa gitmiyorum. Retorik de 6 olduğu için dursun şu an. Manipülasyon 5, o da fena değil. Onun içinde giyecek çok şey var. Algımız 1. Algımız çok düşük. Otoritemiz de 5 şu an için. Ve tecrübe puanımız da 65 ya. İyi yani bence. Bence benim şahsi fikrim algıya verelim bir tane. Ondan sonra otoriteyle devam ederiz. Algıya verdim.
Onlar zaten en çok işimize yarayacaklar.
Aynen, algı bence işimize yarayacak ya. Azmetin boyutu ne kadarmış?
One known species of phasmid called the Megaphasmodea zoensis
bir
is
kol
about the
kadarmış.
size of a grown man's forearm. So, typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
Adam şey yakalamaya çalışıyor ya. Hayali bir böcek yakalamaya çalışıyor yani.
Even simply catching a glimpse of the very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen. So, not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you...
I know it's real.
Ya kim sen de adamın üstüne gitme ya, bırak işte.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than... There was a credible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a creature that matched the Insulindian phasmid to an uncanny degree.
Abi burada
Despite not
insanların
knowing what it was
gördüğüne niye
themselves.
inanıyorsun ya? Herkes sarhoş geziyor.
It's the first credible sighting in several decades. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally...
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why, well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly. So, yes.
Lena dizayn etmiş tuzakları.
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally...
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Pek olası gelmiyor deyip üstüne gitmeyelim ya, kıyamam.
What? And I'm eager to return to her. I assure you, my wife understands that just as well as...
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for...
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't...
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife. shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified
Lena
sight.
görmüş
on record.
Fazmit'i.
One of only 40 centuries. Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Okay.
Suffice to say, it's long been our
Adama
dream
bir şey
to
oluyor bu
find
arada ya.
proof of the Insulindian phasmid together.
Tuzak mı kuruyor acaba o sırada?
Can't abandon course now.
Aa yok, öksürüyormuş.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to stop?
He's dead set on this.
Aynen abi, kıyamam ya, tuzakları biz kontrol edelim. Hem görevdir, XP verir.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence. There are 4 in total.
4 tane, 3 tane burada, bir tane de aşağıda gördük. Aynen.
Peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very neat. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast.
Aa, dağıtmış bayağı, pardon. Birini kuzeydoğuda yolun sonuna yerleştirmiş. Eski radyo kulesine giderken ufak bir kum tepesinin ardında, kilisenin arkasında. Okey.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed.
Geçtiğin kanalın yakınlarında bir beton plakanın orada. Okay.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seemed like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture? Is it?
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with the pheromone mixture I developed.
Oh.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Aa, adam bize mis kokusu sıkayım diyor sana diyor. Onu sıkmasın değil mi? Sonra biri bizi gördüğünde aa kokuyorsun falan deyip zarlarımız eksiğe düşmesin ya.
Bilmiyorum.
Sıkmasın ya onu. Yok istemiyorum abi.
Your choice. As I said, the chance.
But you feel you should have it on you. Something bad might happen.
Abi koku üstünde olmalıymış gibi hissediyorsun diyor şimdi. İçindeki deniz. Kötü bir şey olabilir.
Don't mess around. Take the pheromone. It'll make you sexier.
Hadi sık. Peki. Aa, tecrübe puanı verdi, iyi bari.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop.
O 50 reale
Not
mi
that I
alıyormuş adamı?
expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted. and in need of assistance.
Aynen, Kim bile ikna oldu ya, adamlara yazık dedi içinden yani.
Someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, but what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Ya yok ya, saçma sapan olur. Ne oldu, bir anda zoom yaptı. Ha, şurada bir şey var.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water. You don't have a reason to. Yet. Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there.
Sazlık
by the
olan
old
bir şey
boy
sıkıntı yok.
bobbing.
Sanırım ileride bu sazlığın içinde bir şey bulacağız. Ha, şu çocukla da konuşayım ya.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Aa, adama sarı adam
The
dedi.
lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly. Yellow man. Interesting. This is
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunk.
degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Her şeyi kitaba uygun yapan bir bak bir memuru.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for
He pronounces revocol with a hard K, unlike serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
O zaman birazcık soru soralım adama.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinaise'de is about.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here...
He didn't kill him or anything. But there's something going on here.
Aynen.
My mug? Why would you think that? I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Aa, bu acaba şey mi? Sansar bu mu? Sansar mıydı? Neydi? Şu şeyin bit kapısını aç dedi adam.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. You're not going to find me, are you? Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing! Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law. I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of
Oo,
Martinaise'de.
anahtar bundanmış. Çöp konteyner anahtarı.
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs.
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know? Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there
O adam
and the
inanılmaz
clothes too.
şüpheli ya.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty. Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Ama niye geçiyoruz ya?
I hope I could help your investigation. In my
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
I
Şunu
like to
soralım.
pronounce it the hard way. The old way.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's a secret rite, a very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Okey. Milliyetçilerin selamlaşması gibi bir şeymiş bu yani. Uç milliyetçilerin. Anladım peki.
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics. Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly. Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here. If you can remember it.
Teğmen burada yokken konuşabiliyormuşuz bu konuyu.
Sure do, officer.
Okay. Kelebek'le ufak bir fikir alışverişi yaptık da ne yapalım ne edelim diye. Bir soğukkanlılıkla ilgili bir şeyler giyineceğim ama hemen denemeyeceğiz. Önce bir birazcık adamın işte dairesine girdik de demeyeceğiz, direkt de birazcık konuşacağız. Soğukkanlılık bu arada hiçbir şey vermiyormuş ya, soğukkanlığa. Bir tek ayakkabı veriyor. Bunu da giydik zaten. Ya. Tamam. Bütün tuzakların yerini burada vermiş. Güzel. Şimdi geri.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Irkçı ya. İnanılmaz ırkçı bir adam bu arada. Şöyle şunu diyelim önce.
How? But why were you in my apartment, officer? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him, what have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
Birazcık adamı korkuttuk ya.
Of course. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you,
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door.
Artı 2 verdi soğukkanlı. %28 oldu. Beyaz olduğu için deniyorum.
Tamam, sen bilirsin.
Is he?
Yapamadık.
He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like
üçe
Gary
bakar
be
mısın?
hiding beneath his clothes?
I don't pray, officer. Faith in non-existent helpers is a sign of weakness. Not for... Always a pleasure to... I mean, officers.
Okay. Tüh. Olmadı ya. Yine olmadı. Olmuyor. İnternet yığını mı? Hatırlayamadım. Beyazlardan ne açılmış diye bakıyorum şöyle. Yine kafa tasçısı, çöp konteyneri, harita duvarı, balkonda tüttüren eleman açılmış. Ayna. Yan tırnağı iyi huylu bir kakadu yetiştirme rehberi. Çalmak için tabi. Hava Ağustos'u. Enflasyon. Akşam gideceğiz. İyi bir yer öğrenince gideceğiz bir de. Okey. Başka da şu an için açılan yok. Kim? Ha, buna da soğukkanlık gerekiyormuş. Anette'ye de soğukkanlık gerekiyormuş. Buna soğukkanlık verebilirim ya. Şey vermeme rağmen şehrin fısıltısı artı 3 almasına rağmen düşünceden mesela açılmamış bunda. Hoş olmadı. Okey. Bunlara puan falan vermeden açılmayacak galiba ya. Çok sıkıntı bir durum bu. Neyse. Evet. Elysium'un bu bölümünden de bu kadar diyelim. İzlediğiniz için teşekkür ediyorum. Oynatma listesi bu tarafta çıktı. Oradan girip Elysium'un bütün bölümlerini izleyebilirsiniz. Kanala abone olun. Videoları beğenin. Güzel yorumlar yazın. Görüşmek üzere. Haydi bay bay.
Bye bye.